Hello guys and welcome back to Tycoon Online 3 Revamped. Yeah, today I'm just going to be showing you guys what's going on. Another year has passed or so since the last episode. And yeah, basically I just wanted to be sharing with you guys, what my strategy is and what I'm going to be planning on doing in the future to keep growing my company. As you guys can see, my hub out of London has been expanding. I've been opening up a ton of new routes. We're up to 77 now. Yeah, you guys can also see that a lot of these routes are starting to do quite well. I think basically all of them are close to full, which is a really nice thing. If we start by profit here, we can just take a look at what's doing well for me right now. I mean, I made a few new nice direct routes, most of them just competition with the new 707 320B. I'm going to be expanding services with the 707 320B in a little bit, but right now, my focus is actually going to be cargo. See, I've been expanding at a pretty decent rate for the past while, just a steady, slow growth, and that has resulted in me already reaching 6th position. So that's pretty good. The next guy seems to be a little step above me, but I should be able to catch up with him pretty easily, given that my passenger numbers have not hit any new nice breakpoints, or neither has my cargo. So yeah, today we're going to be focusing a little bit on cargo, because this world seems to be pretty negligent about cargo, when cargo is in fact a pretty decent strategy for expanding in this game. So yeah, I'm going to be basically expanding in cargo operations a little bit. There's a lot of nice cargo routes, which seem to be kind of ignored. Yeah, so I'm going to be basically just, making some cargo routes. The nice thing about cargo routes is they're extremely fast to make and don't really require much effort. You just kind of find the city, like Glasgow, you build the slots, and then you basically come back, and yeah, like there's not much to it. Everything kind of happens without much effort of your own. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, a turn just happened to pass. So unfortunately, this route is going to be made after the turn passed, which is a little bit inefficient. Unfortunately. Yeah. So like taking a look at the routes here, as you guys can see, a lot of these routes are just competition, and none of them, as you guys can also see, are even close to not being full. And that's one thing I've noticed about this game is I've previously really enjoyed just avoiding competition altogether because I didn't believe it could be very profitable to run with competition. That doesn't seem to be the case at all. If you start at the beginning of the world, like I have here, um, and you immediately start investing in services, um, and other factors, your competition does very well. Like you won't have trouble filling up seats, even if there's another player on the route, if it's as long as it's a good route. Um, and just things such as this world having a particularly high world traveler index. If we take a look at it, where is it? Where is the world traveler index? There it is. It's particularly high, 2,900 before 1965 is quite high. I mean, that's the magic of having my best friend in this game. Every time I've played a game with this guy, he just seems to be lucky and gets a world where the world traveler index shoots into the sky. His company is not as valuable as mine, but interesting. I mean, I did start in the most overpowered hub of London. These two guys are both based in Beijing, by the way, and based on the fact that the gap between them is increasing at such a fast rate, I'm guessing this top guy is gemming. This guy, I'm not even sure if he's gemming. He could be a legit player, but I do not know. Uh, all I do know is that I'm, not looking into getting involved with what happened to my insurance? Why? It just my insurance just decided to be more expensive. I guess I did hit level 3, so that's a thing. Uh, in the meantime, let's see how much cargo I need to hit the next breakpoints for the quests, which is what I'm looking for basically. See, I'm like 200,000 passengers away. That's a long time. I don't really have to think about that. That'll happen naturally. But these cargo breakpoints are honestly really close. Like this is 13,000. That's 25,000. I think I should be able to hit those pretty soon and just get some free cash, basically. So I'm going to look to hit those. Ordering some new Boeing 707-320 freighters. Um, in addition, these are just nice kind of short range routes, quote unquote. And the reason why I'm looking forward to having short range routes is because it increases the cargo like value in terms of how many like tons I ship a lot more, because there's a lot more schedules a week for short range routes. I will fix all these schedules, by the way. Um, like you see, they're 25, 25. I will fix them so that they're maxed out in the future. Um, but right now I'm just a little bit limited on slot requests. So I'll be right back when this is sorted out. Alright, I'm back with some more slots in hand, so we can go ahead and fix these cargo routes. Like, how the frick do I switch this to cargo mode? There we go. Yeah, I'm so unused to having the cargo passenger split. I kind of wish they were displayed on the same, like, GUI. Slash, there was more. Wait, did I not open this route yet? Wait, did I click Edinburgh or something? Or did I click passenger? Who knows? Who knows what I clicked? But I kind of wish there was more depth into the cargo system in this game. I saw a comment on one of my videos yesterday saying that they think cargo should have split classes and stuff like that. And let me just tell you something. Whoever you are, I 100% agree with you. I play another game called Airway Sim. I uploaded a few videos on my channel before. You guys may or may not remember. And it is a really, really good game. And one of the best things about it is it has cargo classes. It has heavy cargo, uh, medium cargo, and light cargo. Light cargo is stuff like mail, like light parcels, where medium cargo would be, slightly larger equipment, say like batteries or I'm trying to think of examples of medium, but for some reason I can't think of anything. Just equipment kind of things that are not like just your ordinary parcels, but still very small, manageable, easy to package inside a regular pallet. Um, and then there's heavy cargo, so oversized machinery. Uh, Kind of things like huge industrial equipment, that kind of thing. And those kind of equipments can only be transported on dedicated freighter aircraft, while the rest of it can be also transported as belly cargo, like excess capacity in your airplane can hold that stuff. So like your 777, if it's flying at not its max takeoff capacity, you can put some cargo in it, assuming there's any volume left in your plane. For example, if you were to run your plane in an all economy setup, then there would be absolutely no space left in your plane. It would all be used for baggages and stuff like that, and you wouldn't be able to fit any cargo. But if you ran a premium heavy, there'd be tons of extra cargo space because the plane was designed to potentially be carrying more people, and therefore you'd have tons and tons of belly cargo space. So any potential cargo on a route could be basically transported by passenger planes too, except for heavy cargo, where you would need a dedicated passenger plane, which I thought was pretty cool. But anyways, I'll be right back once I have some more slots. Alright, I seem to have some slots now, and one more cargo aircraft. I do not know where to use it. Maybe Stockholm? Stockholm will do less cargo because it's quite a range, but it's a decent route. So I think I want to do that. I'm not sure how much money these guys will be making. Yeah, I'm really not sure like how much raw cash these routes are going to generate. But basically the reasoning for me going for cargo is it is not as profitable per dollar as passengers. Let me get that straight off of that. But the quests kind of skew your objectives a little bit. Because here's the question you have to ask yourself when considering, should I be going for raw profit, the most profitable planes possible, aka just DC-11s leased and the 707s bought, which would be the most profitable setup if you didn't have these quests. But these quests skew it so that you want short range routes first of all, with less money per dollar spent. So per capital you invest, you make less money back, but it very quickly gives you another big injection of cash, like the previous ones, 150,000, 100,000. These injections of cash basically make you ask the question, um, can this $100,000 the quest awards me um, make as much as the plane, which is just more profitable? And think about how much 100,000 can get you. It can get you uh, about four Tupolev 124s and one to two lease DC-11s, which is quite a bit. So I think the answer is often yes, but not fully kind of invested into the strategy of go small planes, lease big. I think that a full investment into that strategy actually wouldn't grow as a mixed investment into some of your planes, just being dedicated as cash cows. Like um, this single 707s are making 3.5K, which is a ton of cash. As you guys can see, leased DC-11s make about 2.5K, which is pretty good, and TUs make about 500K. So two TUs and one DC-8 makes an equivalent amount to a 707. So the growth is slightly, and I say slightly faster, but it does require a lot more time investment to play. And in addition, your value really gets dumped on. And also, if played incorrectly, leased planes will cost you a lot more than your own bought planes, which can really basically only make money unless you are making some really, really terrible routes. So, on the other hand, I need to pick some routes for these remaining TU-124s I have. I have TU-124s because they are exceptionally good for opening up new DC-8 leases, basically. And this is kind of my go-to strategy. In between episodes, I'm basically only buying TU-124s, and leasing DC-11s with an occasional something like 727 buy to claim some nice routes. I'm eventually going to be competing on, for example, Shanghai to London and London to San Francisco and Houston. I'm going to be competing on all these routes, Seattle, Mexico City, with my 707s once I get the range. Looks like I've got a jammer here to Shenzhen and not Hong Kong. Interesting. Looks like there's a jammer in Shenzhen. Using a range boosted 707. It doesn't even look like he has minimum seating pitch, otherwise he should be making more than that. Anyways, interesting. And guys, I just wanted to clarify something. Like I said that right now my strategy is going for straight up purchase planes. As you guys can see, every single 707 is of course a straight up purchase. 320. You can only purchase those, you can't lease them. And I honestly think that while the strategy is good, it's still not as fast as an invested TU-124 spamming strategy. But the other factor for a reason why I didn't do that is, let's take a look at Europe here, alright? Most of the good TU-124 routes have been taken by somebody else's TU-104. And it was like this since I joined, which I think I joined in a 0.9 tick. So 1960.9. So my company is about a quarter younger than the rest of them. And just in that short amount of time, it does appear that like 95% of the best short range routes have already been taken, basically. So that's one of the main reasons why I decided to not go down that strategy, is because competing with TU-124s on a lot of routes like this, for example, does not even guarantee it's full, especially against a TU-124, or 104, which is a much bigger capacity aircraft. So, yeah, basically that's the reasoning why I didn't go for that, and this seems to be working fine for me anyway. I'm taking a look at it. I don't have a problem hitting 100% load factor on just about any route, which is extremely nice. So that means I'm making just about the maximum amount of money I can be making from my planes. And yeah, this is a bad tick for this. This is 0.5. Oh, it's 0.6, but just some weird expenses rolling in. But having scheduled so many planes this turn, I have a feeling I'll be soaring pretty high soon. Now, I usually join, as you guys know, between 1968 and 1969. That's my favorite time to join a game. And usually people around that time have 300 planes, the number one guy, and I'm wondering if I can hit that. I think I can, because things are going to start to move pretty fast now. I'm pretty stable around 50k, and I think I'm basically just going to hard commit into the Tupolev lease, Tupolev DC8 strategy. I'm just going to start competing, because I think it's time to start growing fast now. As you guys can see, my LA hub is coming along. I'm going to slightly de-invest in Beijing because there's two guys there. And I'm going to open a route to Frankfurt soon. Not because I need a route to Frankfurt at all, considering, look at it. Ooh, only 3 competitors. There were 7, or there were 5. Now there's only 3. But because my second hub, I think my third hub will be Frankfurt after LA. LA is going to be an interesting hub because all the cities worth taking to LA are far away. And it also appears that there's also a decent player there who has been taking a lot of these routes. Now, the nice thing for me is I'm going to be making some stopovers to Beijing, and the rest I'll just be taking them direct or stopover this way. So, for example, there's no airport here, but from here to LA and then from LA to somewhere in South America, this angle does work. But for the rest, I'll just be claiming them direct, and leveraging the fact that LA is the biggest city in the world, basically, to support those routes. Anyways, just a little bit of like future plans slash strategy talk. As you guys can see, I've just been continuing, as I have explained in the last episode, to do stopovers for London, which is the advantage of Europe between small cities. And then, yeah, I've just added a bunch more of those. I've added a bunch more TU-124 routes since last episode, just being small, short-range routes connecting just about any city to London. Basically, if it has an airport, it will be full. That's a general rule of thumb for the TU-124 connecting to a large city. If it has an airport and you set the price to 1.25 and there's no competition, the route will fill. So, very simple. I've got tons of routes like that left. So, yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, yeah, another note on the TU-124 routes. Make them more than 600k for maximum profit. Or 600 km in terms of distance. So I'll just show you an example. Here are my TU-124 routes. As you guys can see, some of them are making around 500k, and these ones are about 1,000 kilometers away. And then when you get down to 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers, we're already down to 400k. And some certain ones are making up to 600k. And as you guys can see, these are all the longest range ones, 1,500 kilometers. The reason for this is the TU-124 is one of the smallest planes in the whole game. And per slot, they are not very efficient because the slot expense is becoming quite a significant portion of the total price of the route, which is why slightly longer range routes do better because the proportion of slots for the route is smaller. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.